You are now entering the MuseCast.
Like carpet that had just like vomit and blood and semen, and it was so disgusting. It was straight out of like Bukowski, like Barfly. I think it was called The Office. So ask somebody about that. But
was that in Tallahassee, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think my mom talked about The Office. Like, it's not around during my time, but
I mean, you guys are young muffins, baby. You know, but like the thing is, like literally, this is like late '90s, early 2000s. Yeah, probably late '90s, maybe 2000, maybe 2001. But like, I mean, I remember being in this bar and I was like, I'm disgusted. This place is so disgusting. And I just love that people go like, I'm going to The Office, and they go and get leathered at this bar in Tallahassee. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Well.
Oh, Dick, you don't have any audio.
Yeah.
No.
It's amount. I work in television, man. It is in rocket science. We're not curing like heart disease. We'll get his power going. Yeah.
We'll get this figured out.
Check one,
there
two.
You're back in, buddy.
Yeah. It was just a thing. We're back, episode 87.
Yeah.
87. Tom Cheshire from West End Motel.
Nothing can compare to the ones that you love. Nothing can compare to the ones that you love. Nothing can compare to the ones that you love. I got a tab, I ain't gonna pay a thing. I got a ball, I won't wrap the thing. I got some cold guys in my pocket. I got some bills and leaving the doctor. I see a train and I'm gonna hop it into your house and we gotta burn it down. We gotta burn it all down.
On the MuseCast with
Very nice to meet you, and thank you for reaching out, and thank you for giving me a few weeks to like, be able to talk and stuff. I'm stoked. I like your podcast. I watched a few interviews. It's really great.
Oh, thanks,
you, man.
Thanks, Tom.
I
wanted to come shake your hand up there like so bad, but it was respect for the moment, and I knew that I knew that I wanted to reach out to you. I appreciate you opening it up and coming on, brother.
Yeah. Well, what's funny? Nothing's funny. It's still brutal, but like, if you would have asked anybody that knows me, they probably would have said, no, Tom, you can definitely go up to Tom and say hello. But thank you for being considerate. If you would have come up to me with your son and said hello, I would have given you a hug and probably bought you a pint, and we would have figured it out. You know what I mean? But like, thank you for that. I know. I think I was telling you because I saw pictures of you, and I think I saw you wearing that cool shirt with rips.
I was wearing the ripped shirt. I thought about wearing it tonight, but I had the snot phase going earlier, and
yeah. I love that shirt, man, and we'll meet in person one day down the road. I'm like I said, I dig your podcast. I dig what you guys are doing, and this world is a mess right now. So we just need to stick around with like-minded people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that don't know, I mean, you guys this connection happened because Dick, you had gone to Atlanta for a walk.
Yeah.
Brent Hinds.
So the quick recap was, Tom, and I want you to talk about this, but I'll give a real quick recap and then hand it to you. You sing for the band West End Motel, and if anyone listening doesn't know who that is the late great Brent Hinds band outside of Mastodon. And actually my son I'm a huge Mastodon fan. My son was particularly attached to Brent Hinds, his favorite guitar player on the planet.
Yeah.
He is the one who actually showed me who you guys were, and the promise was that we were going to meet Brent. And we missed our chance with Mastodon, and then he left Mastodon, earlier this year. And the plan was we're going to go see West End Motel in Atlanta and go to a show. And then unfortunately, what happened. And we had heard, he told me that you guys were doing the memorial march for him, that you were going to take over the city streets of Atlanta. And I reached out. You said it was open to the public. I didn't want to come uninvited. You said it was open. We made the 7-hour drive, and that was it.
And it really was lovely. Like, you know, so, like everything happened so fast, and unfortunately in life, everything happens so fast. So that's why we need to hug people, tell them we love them now, because really things can be gone. You know, tomorrow is not guaranteed, you know.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I was in, you know, and I was at his house that Monday night. You know, we wrote 2 new songs. We already had a live album we were planning on coming out. I was helping him with the solo stuff. And then we were writing songs for another record, because now he was going to have the time to do all things he wanted to do. And then I said, dinner Thursday night. And that obviously didn't happen because he passed on Wednesday. And so we all went to Alabama to see his family on Friday for a proper family funeral. And that was brutal and rough. But
yeah.
And then a million people are reaching out, and I wasn't answering any calls. I didn't want to talk to anybody, you know, and I was just like, man, whatever. And everyone's like, you kind of got to do something. I know down the road you could do something, but you kind of got to do something now, whatever. And I just, you know, I was talking to Shane Morton, who's great, you know, our buddy Lee, and some of the guys with the Starburst and people at Elmire, and like West End Motel has a song called Elmire. Brent and I drank and ate for free for a year there for doing that song. You know what I mean? So like, I was like, I don't want people getting like effed up like in his name. I want like you were like, is it family friendly? Can we come? And I was like, yeah, people are gonna be in Elmire. You know, Pike came and flew into town. He's our brother. It was great hanging out with him. You know, and like, but the thing is like. She's like, I want people outside bringing their family and just to enjoy him, because he was overall, he was a complicated guy, but he loved life, you know. And I was like, I want people to celebrate in March, and we are going to do something again, which I'll get into. There's a few celebrations we're going to be doing for him, but beautiful. I was like, well, how do we go about this? And then Shane was like, well, I'm with you. He goes, when it gets dark, I don't want people making bad decisions in his name. He goes, I'm leaving my wife when it gets dark. And so he's like, we meet at Elmire, we march at 2. He goes, and but if we make an announcement today, there'll be 2,000 people there. But if we make the announcement on Facebook and social media, Instagram, like Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m., tomorrow there'll be like 500 people there. I think we want to be in like 800 people, whatever. And we were like, because it's like 20 grand to close down the street. And he's like, nah, punk rock, we're gonna shut down traffic. You know, let's annoy people like Brent would want us to. You know, and so we did it, and we did it right, and it really was like my brother flew in from New York, and like we kind of did everything right, and it was beautiful and sad and really heavy. And at one point, like my brother was like, "Yo, man, there's too many people trying to talk to you." Like just not even dark yet, like 7 o'clock, and he's like, we're going. And we went to this little pub 2 blocks away that was empty. And me and my brother just hung out till like 10 o'clock, you know. But it wound up being really just as far as sad celebrations go, it was gorgeous and kind of almost perfect the way you want it, the way I think he would want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for making the trip and your consideration. But I'll tell you, you know, you totally next time you see me, come and grab me. You know.
Oh, for sure. I'm doing it. I mean, so the drive up there was the Brent Hinds chronologic catalog, because we had 7 hours to kill, and we didn't make it through. I think we made it to 2014.
Yeah,
in 7 hours. So much. But Tom, can you, because I don't know the history, like West End Motel has been around for
we're one of the greatest bands in the world that no one knows about.
I love that.
We had fun, then the tank got low. She finally had to let me go. Come on and tell me where you're going. Come on and take me to where you're going. I was sick.
We really are brilliant. No, I moved here from New York City. I'm in Atlanta right now, but I've lived like all over, you know. But I moved to Atlanta from New York City in the early '90s, and Brent just happened to move from Alabama, and we just hit it off, man. We just got into trouble and wicked sense of humor and laughed about the silliest things, but also stayed up for days and got very deep and had beautiful, heartwarming, intellectual conversations, And I was telling somebody this in an interview the other day. I was like, well, I was a new wave guy and a punk guy. I never was a metal guy, And it's so funny that, but also good music is good music, and that. There's
That's
good
right.
metal. It's good. I mean, I'm wearing a Run DMC shirt. I was in my studio listening to Run the Jewels earlier, So so Brent, and of course, became famous from metal, but he also loved trolling people and said he hated metal, country. And reality is he just loved good music. I mean, I could tell you most of the time I hung out with him, it was like Johnny Cash and early Beach Boys he listened to, But I was a Tom Waits guy. Like Tom Waits in the class were like my shit. And so I was the Tom Waits guy and he was a Frank Zappa guy. So we would just stay up all night and he'd be playing me that. And then I'm playing him a class song and he's playing me Phil and Thin Lizzy and stuff. And then I saw People Without a Face, and he had the band 4 Hour Father, and those guys are still best friends. All of them are best friends of mine for like 30 years, 31 years, in 94. So I love Fiend, and I was like, man, let me roadie for you guys and stuff. And then I just started. I was living in this area called the West End, and basically we had a skate ramp and put a pool in there. We made our own clothes. We recorded. It was very much like this artist commune. And I just started writing all these songs on the piano. And he's like, "What is that shit?" And I was like, "Well, I'm calling the West End Motel. I want you to play, but it's one of different guests. Like if I was Galassi playing tonight, I'd recruit you guys to play with me, and it would be just different guests in the motel." And he's like, "I love it." And so next thing you know, we just started recording like hundreds of songs, And in the beginning it was just him on acoustic guitar and me like banging on a piano and playing like a bucket for drums. And then the band grew, and next thing you know, you got an upright bass player and a saxophone player, and we kind of sounded like a Zappa / Tom Waits band. You know what I mean? And
yeah, dude,
really
it's a great sound.
Yeah,
really lovely, and some of my greatest memories, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm, it's going to take me a while, but there's a bunch of other stuff that is going to come out. But I just need to. Like I just started like 3 days ago. I think Dick, when we were texting, I was like, I'm just starting to like stop and like myself, like trying to sleep and trying to breathe a little bit. But other than that, we're gonna share it with the world because people have been really kind, reaching out. And girl in Italy's like, "Oh, my husband left me and she's on fire, saved my life." And there's other guys like, "Gosh, not messing around." But, my grandfather used to listen to that, and he passed away. So now I just listen to it every morning, and I'm like, well, music is magic. We're talking now because of music.
Dude, in our podcast last week with our guest, we specifically went down a rabbit hole for like 5 minutes talking about how music is magic. Those are the words we used. Because it is magic. It's like crazy how it's the quickest thing in the world that can just completely change your whole chemistry, your mindset, your dimension of reality and experience. All there like that. Nothing does it that quick.
But I get no matter how hard I try, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Do they even care? If I'm sick and will they even dare?
Yeah, and it's the only commonality, that like in any nation, in any country, any language even, and you don't have to be an artist or musician, but if people are sad, they want to listen to a song, and if people are happy and want to rejoice, they want to hear a song
Yeah, absolutely.
to it, So it's like, you might be sad and you might be, you might want to play this really, really sad, Conway Twitty or dark, bucked up country song or whatever. But you might also might be in a good mood and you might want to play some 2 Live Crew or something. You know what I mean? Like, and start
But
dancing.
and opposite. Like sometimes you're sad and you want the happy one, and then sometimes you're happy and then you listen to a sad song and it just inspires you about life.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a huge fan, and the way I write is I love like dark and sad songs, but I also love like having that like it be sardonic and have like this juxtaposition where so it's like three lines might be like brutal, and I'm just stabbing myself in the stomach, but in the last line I'm like, yeah, my hair is beyond repair, and I make fun of myself or something.
No, that's beautiful. It's like blending the minor keys with the major key and finding that metaphor to transcend the emotions with music. It's like my whole life experience has been in the minor key for whatever reason. And
right is those sad keys, you know.
Yeah, there's something resonates with it. It feels so good. It makes you feel better, right? Like,
well, I was going to say you made it to 2014, so you didn't get to Jaguar Garage, and that's the song that you should have played as you pulled into Atlanta, because that like when we were driving to Birmingham, you know, I mean, and all those guys are great, really good friends of mine. I just happen to be the closest to Brent, you know. But I mean, they're all. I mean, I've been talking to all of them, and they're my brothers as well. You know, Troy, Bill, and Bron. They're wonderful humans, and they're going through their grief. You know, they're but you know, but for me, you know, Jaguar Garage and like in The Last Baron and Toe to Toes. I mean, well, also I was with them a lot. I was with them when I watched them write them. So like they're really insane. Like, you know, I mean, they're really insane to me. You know, so I'm like, I remember when you changed this line, but talking about that sarcasm of us, you know, I mean, he's one of the funniest. He was a complicated, complex person, you know, but really funny as fuck. And so he's like, you know, I live by the woods, and he's just like, yeah, man, what do you think of that? I'm like, it's kind of funny, but it's also creepy, you know.
The best artists always are on that fine line of insanity and reality, right? You have to write that line.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and we're so lucky, you know, and also, you know, I hate that you and your boy didn't get a chance to meet him, but man, he'll probably pop up in some dreams of yours. He's popped up already. He's come to visit me a couple times already, which has been wild.
And I don't mean to pry, but when my father passed, I had some dreams that were really, really informative to me, that gave me a lot of perception about how things work between the different worlds. And you know, I don't need to get super specific, but the dreams are very, very powerful. And it is like there is a level of communication with that energy that is continuing on past the body. I absolutely believe that because of the truths that I found in it that later obviously reveal themselves to be how things work. Yeah, it was very revealing.
Man, I said I wasn't going to say this, but I'm a big fan of manifesting.
Yeah, me too.
So, and I mean, I'm for the most part, I try to follow Buddhist views and try to have Zen thoughts and stuff, you know. And then I literally started writing down notes. I was like, I can talk about this, and I just crumpled it up and threw it away, you know. But like, Tony, one of his good friends, was shout out Tony. He was there, you know, in Birmingham. And I told my brother Scott. My brother Scott is a writer as well, and he didn't come to Alabama, but he flew into Atlanta from New York for the march. And I was telling him about this, and I got to finish this record now that Brent and I started and everything. And I told him what I'm about to tell you, and talk about like arm hairs, like you know, chill, you know. So I was talking to him, and I'm like, I need to put this in a song. And he goes, I'll tell you one thing. He is anywhere and everywhere, but in that box.
Yeah.
He might be in the coffin, but he is not in that coffin, and he is. You're absolutely right. I think I just saw, you know, a ginger butterfly just, you know, piss on my shoulder and fly by. You know what I mean? So like, you know, he was, but it was so. it was so deep, and I liked Tony a lot, but I never really. Most of the time, we just fucked up. You know what I mean? So I was like, but like man, I was like, I even looked at him. It was such a deep. He goes, he is everywhere. He's anywhere. He's anywhere, but in that. And I was like, my brother's like, did you write it down? I'm like, I've written it down 20 times. I'm trying to figure out where we're going to put it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man, and it's absolutely true. And there is no way that it's not a situation of a release when that happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because if you do research on it, and we're at the end of the day, we're also just nerds, and we love being intrigued, and we're fascinated by stuff. But it's like, what is it like? A certain amount of pounds leaves your body immediately, like when you.
Yeah.
Where is that? I mean,
there's going to be echoes of him in artistry and in the art that comes out from this point forward, and even from this point behind, with everyone that he was ever influenced with.
100%. Yeah. And that's the thing. And it's like, so some of the songs are very bare boned, and I might put them out like that. And some of them I'll have to add on to them. But I have also so much other audio recordings, like field recordings of just us traveling, I mean, that's when we were in Big Sur, just hiking and out of our minds, and just, eating mushrooms and just screaming into the wind. Like, that's going to make it on there. It'd be very,
oh, wow.
That's so special. That's real special, heartfelt stuff. And
man, I've been so nervous all day, and when you were like, can you be on a 9:15? And I was like, man, I actually like it. I like giving like rock and rollers, rock and rollers already have a bad name, so I'm actually very, very on time. I think I went on at 9:12. But all day I was so nervous, and I was like, man, I don't know if we can be able to talk about this, but you know what? I feel pretty good. So this is lovely. It's very, very, It's somehow you got to find these things that are your version of like sanity or therapy, something that's therapeutic for you. I walked the belt line through the West End yesterday with my buddy Chad Radford, funny enough, who put out the first West End Motel 7-inch. And he was like, man, I kind of want to repress it, and I want to put it out on Bandcamp. And it was like just literally me banging on a piano and like banging on a snare and stuff. And last thing I want to do is capitalize on, I want to respect you. And I go, you have my permission, and also first of all, you guys know musicians don't make money. So it's like, there's nothing to do with, I just want to put anything I can out for him, I mean, I'm an artist. I live as an artist like 24/7, and half of these songs I dreamt they came to me in dreams, and I just, woke up and I go, here's the song, So, we're just going to try to share these things and, pay it forward and push more beautiful stuff out to people if we can. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the best thing you could possibly do, is like to keep sharing the spirit that you guys.
Yeah.
It's a shame how many bands that we've never even heard because they never got recordings done. I mean, bands that stayed together for years and played shows that just blew you away and turned you into a different musician, and they never even really got a real recording. So it's beautiful that you guys have so much captured as you do.
Yeah.
And you should absolutely, in my opinion, it's not in any way, I think it's the most beautiful thing that you could do in tribute.
Oh, man. Yeah. See, I knew there was a reason I needed to talk to you, lads. Thanks a lot, man. Now, I started this conversation feeling like 2 feet tall, nothing at all. I'm going to get off the phone and I'm going to be like 27 feet tall.
Oh, great. Hey, that's the name of your next album.
Yeah,
28 feet tall.
I already think I have the name for it, but
Okay, but 28 feet tall would work because you also have the song Tiny Man.
That's right. Tiny Man is so beautiful. That was in the desert. I think Dave Dreyer from Legends of Siegelman had mentioned something about it, and then Brent started going with it, and then he was like, "What do I say?" I was like, "You gotta say, please take me home, put me in your pocket, man." He goes, "That's it."
I'm just a tiny man. Please put me in your pocket now. Please take me home. Please don't you leave me
It might be one of my favorite, like, really just thoughtful, beautiful solos of his. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then Dave's on saxophone. It's just like, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a it's one of my favorite West End songs for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be up front in saying that I, for the last week, have just been getting to learn of your band. Dick told me about it, dude. And so I open up Spotify and I'm like, wow, like it's such a great, it's like just music that just feels so right to have on, period. It's like I've kind of just got it in the background. I worked out to it a couple of times, you know. It's
good bangers to work out to.
Yeah, and it's so versatile. And it's like you mentioned like the Zappa reference. I mean, I think that kind of represents a lot. Tom Waits and Zappa. I was like, okay, that's a great analogy pairing that you just described.
Then there's a lot of darkness, but then there's also that hysteria and that psychedelia and just we had wicked sense of humor. I mean, all we did when we hung out was just laugh, you know. And so like like what Tom Waits has this saying. He goes, I love beautiful melodies, singing beautiful. I love when someone sings beautiful melodies, telling me horrible things. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's great.
Yes, I mean, like, you know, what we wrote, only time can tell. I was going through my first divorce, and his brother Brad had passed and away. So we wrote that record, and they were writing Hunter exactly the same time. So he literally be in the studio with me and the studio with them, like, and it was what a crazy time. And so when I wrote the riff to the song "Burn It Down," I wrote it on a Casio keyboard, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try to sell this to like T-Mobile. Like, nothing can compare to the ones you love. I was like, try to get like $75,000. This would be a great hook for a telephone commercial. And by the way, a manager's like, no one wants it. But anyway, I was helping him write these raps, and he's like, I got some coke and it's in my pocket. I got some pills. They ain't from a doctor. I'm gonna jump in this helicopter. I'm gonna crash it into your house. I'm gonna burn it down. And I'm like, what?
That's so
great.
That's so cool. I wanted to double back. You guys have so much music from what I'm understanding, and I've listened to it on streaming, and there seems to be just the tip of the iceberg.
So that first record, which was a few 7-inches, I think it was. I wanted to call the West End Motel a musical, and there's like 100 songs from that I haven't put out that I need to look at. You know, some of them are just us out of our tits, you know, at 5 a.m. screaming, you know. But they also might sound cool, you know. But and then "Don't Shiver, You're a Winner." Only Time Can Tell. And this one, I just thought, because I'm going through a bunch of stuff, and so we just got a bunch of vinyl of the last record, Bad with Names, Good with Faces. So I'm in my studio in Atlanta right now, and then this live record that's coming out, which is cool. I'm hoping that we get the okay to do our version of Thin Lizzy, Dancing in the Moonlight. I'm hoping that's going to be on. And then
I've seen videos of that on Facebook. That was in the record store, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And then we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this record that we started. You know, which everyone's been so kind. I mean, you know, Matt Pike, Marcus King, Kevin Kinney from Driving Power in Atlanta. So many really cool people that Brent looked up to, or that he was friends with, you know, or that we're friends with. And then like, I want let me get a guitar solo. And so it's going to be hopefully a toe tapper. Hopefully it'll be full of toe tappers and bangers, you know, and you know, I was thinking about calling the record Bangers and Ballads, you know, but
that's good. I like that too.
Bangers and ballads, and then in parentheses, 27 beats off. You know, but you know, the healthy therapy, just like smiling and talking to you guys right now, is there's gonna be a lot of good stories. I'm not in a hurry, but I also know it needs to come out. So We'll probably get into West End Sound. Well, those guys are in there now, so probably get maybe December, and then hopefully between November and February, knock out between, I don't know. Right now it's like 16 and 20 songs. Who knows how that'll?
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Wow. And I'm sorry, you record at West End Sound?
Yeah, that's Bill Keller's place with Tom Taplin, and they're.
Oh, that's the Tom. Yeah, that's where you. And your West End Motel. I mean, I just can't help but think that's.
It's all the Atlanta West End. It's such a tight community up there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone really stepped up and brought it. The love was in the air. Was it now? Shoot, 2 Sundays ago. That mark was really. Some of the footage that Video Raheem took. I mean, it's really still. I can't even really look at it yet. But it's like it's. It's really breathtaking, and also like I lose my breath. Like all right, I'm not ready to look at it all yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's much. I think there's a video of me like just walking up to Brown and us hugging, and it's just like, man, I'm not ready for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great. Atlanta's been so kind to me. I've lived here on and off for years, and I'm back here. So I'm, like I said, I moved here from New York. I moved back to New York in 2011, and then the past years I've been living in Puerto Rico. I work in television, and then the life is weird. Life hands you lemons. You got to fucking go with it and make some margaritas with it, whatever.
Absolutely.
I got back a few months ago, and he and I were hanging out a couple times a week. Having dinner, drinking, bad wine, and drinking beers, and laughing and writing songs and stuff. So
that's
so
awesome,
cool.
Man.
Well, as an independent artist talking to another artist, I don't want to wait and listen to any of this on Spotify or anything. I want to know where to find the vinyl.
Right.
I want the tangible pieces.
I will get you. I'm gonna. I'll. This has been really great talking to you. I'll get a package sent to you guys once we get some of the new stuff that's been repressed and everything, but I also can email you some fun demos and stuff.
I'm not asking for any special privileges. I want to pay and give money where it's due. If you want to send any fun stuff our way, I
literally wrote this song, and I was like, dude, I wrote this song, and it's kind of like an anti-pedophile song. I was like,
wow,
I love it.
No idea where it fit in our catalog, but I love it. But things like Joe's Garage, like Zappa, and Brent's like, I'm in, and I was like, no, I'm not. I mean, literally, like the end of the song, it's like, Uncle Donnie pulled down Johnny's pants. He was caught in the backyard. His dad shot him, and then his wife ran off with a priest of grease. He goes, I'm in. Like,
whoa, priest of grease.
We got to finish the anti-pedophile song. Fuck pedophiles. I'm like,
yeah.
And I have no idea how that entered. I think it was just a good night of maybe some mushrooms on the beach in Puerto Rico.
There's no identifying the origin. You're in the river, and the river is the flow, and you're making the best. You're not paddling against the current. When you go with it, that's where the magic is.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is, not Tallahassee. You guys are in Tallahassee. Tom Petty's from Gainesville, I think. Yeah, Tom Petty's from Gainesville, Florida.
Yes.
He used to talk about that. He'd be like, yo, man, you got to trust that process. And like, music is the closest thing to magic. And so why wouldn't you, if you come up with this riff or this funny line, like I killed the man who killed my goat, whatever, like, why wouldn't you run with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you probably don't know necessarily, but our show is called the MuseCast because it's based off of our actual album show thing, right? And it's like this whole thing where we're fighting an evil AI, and we team up with Muses, and we collaborate with their inner music. Okay, man, on my 3 count, engage your pedal for transport. 1, 2, 3.
Don't hold me back, 'cause I won't walk or sprint. Oh, my mind is spacious like a cave. I was born to be unchained and brave. Everything's starting to just sound the same. But
So we're all about like this concept that,
Right.
you kind of let yourself go and let the art kind of express itself through you potentially. And then it becomes collaborative, I believe.
Right. Well, man, yeah, well, I feel, oh, I think we just lost. Did we just lose you?
Can you hear it? Can you hear us?
We
Tom?
can hear you.
We're
We can
good.
hear you.
Well, I was just going to be, I was going to say, well, I feel so safe and comfortable right now, guys. I mean,
Ash is one of the most non-threatening
I haven't
people I know.
felt this safe in weeks. But no, I know I followed when Dick reached out. I followed this new guy, and I love it. Well, we have a song. I wrote a song called "All the Witches," not "The Witch is Dead," but "All the Witches," and it talks about music. And I go, "You used to be my muse, now you just amuse me. Well, now as I do as I choose, you'll no longer abuse me." And
Nice. I like this.
You used to be my muse. Now you just amuse me. But now I do what I choose. Y'all no longer abuse me. And this goes out to all the witches.
and I do a nod to Brent with "Cold Dark Place," and I go, "This goes out to all the witches, all the nights pulling me out of the ditches. You saved me from that cold, dark place. I want to thank you right to your face," and it's like,
Dude, these are great lyrics.
Yeah. That's
I like
a great
that a
song.
lot.
That's one of the ones we heard that on the way up there. I love that song.
and Brent was like, "What?" So we're ready. We're like Muse brothers here, and we don't let people amuse. We only get amused when we want to get amused. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And well, it's like you have to want it. I believe this is my belief. You have to want it, but you also have to surrender to it. It's this tightrope, right? Where it's not like you get to demand it. You can't. It has to. That's my opinion anyway.
About what we talked about, it's like sometimes you gotta. It's like when you're a little boy and you're like, your friend goes, "I'll catch you," and you gotta fall backwards. Like you gotta trust, and so you gotta surrender. I mean, Bob Dylan, who clearly in the 60s and 70s probably had like 7 insane albums in a row, whatever. In an interview in the 90s, he was like, "I didn't write any of that stuff." He goes, "It just came out of ether, and I trusted it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think also if you're open-minded, which you guys seem like you are, feel safe. But the thing is, it's like, if you're open-minded, which, certainly, I only try to hang out with people that are like that. Certainly Hinds was, it's just like, so you might go into an area that you're flirting with like, you're going into uncharted waters, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I've never done this. Let me try to do this," And I think, if you do it right and you trust it, like you guys are musicians, the reward, even just for you, is huge. But then also, when you can, like I always used to say, if one person comes up to me, one person that's not a friend of mine or a friend of mine, and says, "Hey, that show is amazing," or "That song was amazing, thank you," my job is done. Luckily, I've had that happen like, I don't know, 40 times.
Oh yeah.
No, it's amazing. It's an insane connection with people. It's like you guys are. It's like a shared experience. It's weird. Like you're manifesting this thing in this collaborative way with, I don't know, the universe, and then you bring this thing out and you put it out to the world, and then people connect with it, and it actually can move them to the point of causing them to have a whole chain of events and pursuits in their life. It doesn't have to be music directly. It's just kind of about being inspired that life has more. This sensation that you're feeling, that is what life, in my opinion, is all about. It's like trying to understand what that sensation is, and then walk with it and cultivate it and nurture it. And hopefully the more that you do that, the more of those experiences you have, but you're also by living in that mode, it's contagious. It's like a magnetism. And that's where you meet the people that you do, and you end up in the circles that you do. And then it just kind of becomes this spreading energy,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because first of all, if you choose to live, the right way, which is pretty simple, do the right thing, don't murder anybody, try to push it forward, like pay it forward, good stuff, like everything should be art. This conversation is art right now, and we are rich for just having this conversation. You know what I mean? And so, like, very lucky, and it's a very honest, three-way, very interesting conversation, talk. And so if you look at even this as art, or tomorrow morning saying I'm going to wear this Motorhead shirt instead of this shirt, whatever, and that is art, and then you walk to work and you're writing a poem, or you're thinking about your ex-wife that you pissed off, whatever, you're like, yeah, that's art. And like you say, it doesn't even have to be music. It could be a book, it could be a film, it could be your friend asking you to go work in this park and do charity work and pulling weeds out of the grass at the park. And if that charity work does something for you, then you're richer at the end of the night and you're better the next morning. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
If it fills your heart, it fills your soul with something of substance that's close to joy, right? And like with all art, I feel that you learn and you perform more when you're playful than when you're serious.
Yeah.
My entire philosophy is to be playful, whether it's martial arts, musical arts, or any of the interaction, as well as with just learning in general, just being playful and having not an immature but a childlike mind to the world where everything's new.
I agree completely. I mean, unfortunately, there are very real things that happen in our lives, like, that sometimes people get taken from too soon and stuff. But besides dealing with that and trying to be mature and an adult and be loving and thoughtful for my loved ones that I need to, if I could just laugh at like bad, horrible jokes all day, I would totally do that. That sounds amazing.
I love what both of you guys are saying. It's like, and I feel like it's kind of like this back and forth experience where you're going into the world of growing wiser through your years and all your experiences and the different responsibilities that you take on as you experience your life. And then I think the testing ground, I mean, you kept referencing mushrooms, and I've had my dad took me out when I was younger, and he took in a meditation situation, camping, beach, and I learned a lot, and then it changed the whole trajectory of my life in the pursuit of art. And when you bring those things back, and then you figure out how to play with them a bit, like you bring that innocence. It's such a far-reaching distance to come back to here, where that return to innocence. And the more you can kind of keep bringing those things back and forth, they start to melt and then meld, and then you can kind of hopefully carry that approach to a lot of the responsibilities that we have around us. Because a lot of times, I have a lot of, you mentioned TV and stuff. I do video production for a living, and I have my clients and I make videos, and I'm going to these businesses, and I mean, this is serious stuff. These people are making, they have employees. There's a lot of money flying around. People are depending on this. But at the end of the day, what's happening is a product is being sold. And the more that we can kind of get back to the inspiration point of where they were when they made the product, that there was a playfulness and interest in, life. There was an interest in like the trajectory of manifesting something. It was like the creative spirit, just like a song is. They created something that was, at least for the clients that I try to pursue in most cases, they've created something really cool. There was a lot of inspiration behind their creation. And I want to help them come back to touching that again. And then hopefully that spills into their videos. And then if it does, the people that work there then get to experience the culture of what the real inspiration was behind. They didn't even know what they were working under the hood of. And now everybody's on they're on a mission together, but you have to keep revisiting these things. You can't just learn something once and know it forever. That's why you gotta keep going back out to the mountains or the beaches or wherever your special places are for those moments to recalibrate and retouch, the perspective of what really all this is revolving around.
Yeah, and then also, like you said, someone like on the outside looking in, and like they kind of can dissect it, and they see the genesis of where it started, but then also the evolution of where it ended, and it might be completely different than even what you thought it was going to be. I mean, I could tell you the songs I've written. I was like, I heard a Cat Stevens song. I was trying to write a Cat Stevens song. I loved Elvis Costello's first album. I was trying to write an Elvis Costello song, and they sound nothing like it. You know what I mean? But it was like my brain was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then that evolution, that whole, Dirty Behind stuff, shredding on a solo, and then it sounds nothing like it. Which is and if you trust it and you love it, like who's better than you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that ride and letting it morph. I mean, the more that you try to control it and say, no, it's supposed to be like this because this was the original aim, well, you're not listening to the magic that's happening in it, that's wanting to create itself. You got to be sensitive to that. I try to do that with my edits too, never, I tell clients that. I'm like, look, I'm telling you what my intention is with this, but we got to be sensitive to this thing changing on its own based on what we end up with.
Let it be organic, like
yes.
Profession. Yeah, I agree, because people aren't dumb. No. I think that's the problem in the world. People really, there's some people that aren't smart, but for the most part, people who love the right things aren't dumb. And if you're trying to sell something and trying to force something on them, they're gonna know if that shit's forced. You know what I mean?
I hate hard selling. I just
instant no, hard no.
I mean, why do you think sequels, 99% of them fucking blow goat dick? I mean, seriously. I can think of two good sequels that I love. Godfather 2.
It was good.
Hangover 2. That is it. And
what was the second one?
It's amazing. It's so fun and just dumb, and it's perfect. But you watch the sequel, and they're horrible. And it's like that fourth joke, like, oh, it worked the first time. It's like, it worked the first time because we weren't expecting it, and we trusted you and went on that ride, and now you're forcing it down us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another good sequel was Weekend at Bernie's 2. Weekend at Bernie's 2 is really good.
I know what I'm doing this weekend. I'll watch it.
Speed 2. Let's not talk about that.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
Baseball game or something, I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I love it. So the last night I got to go out with some musical artists in the Orlando area. Timbo, the drummer for Ash and I's project, is like this open mic in downtown Sanford. And it was like, yesterday was such a terrible day. Like, it was just all this bad emotion, turned social media off. But out there, and it's so humbling to watch musicians. I realized I hadn't done it in a while. I took my son out there, and I'm sure this stuff is all over Atlanta where you're at, Tom. It's like the musicians get together and it's an open mic. So Timbo's like all-time quarterback for the drums, and then they'll get other musicians come and sing, and the band rotates and does all that. It's just that inspiring free flow form art was so cool to me. I feel like that's kind of that place where you guys live in all the time. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, when I moved back to New York, I did it for some very personal reasons. That was in 2011, and reality was I was going through a divorce, and I didn't want to answer questions. So I literally ran away. I mean, friends like, "Why are you moving to New York?" I'm like, I don't want people going, "Oh, what'd you do to make your wife leave you?" Whatever, whatever. I'm like, so I literally ran away. Literally, it wound up saving my life. Actually, it was great for me. And he would come and visit there, or I'd play shows in New York. But some people would be like, "What's your problem? With Atlanta?" And I was like, "You don't get it. Like, unfortunately, you're making it all about you." Atlanta's been so good to me as an artist and as a musician. I've done pretty well. I'm humble, but I don't. What does pretty well mean? I've played great shows, and I've made beautiful connections with people that I played music with now for 25 years. But I was like, my problem with Atlanta was I hated me, the person I was when I left. Like me. Like I was 6 nights a week on the piss, just drinking and just not cool, you know what I mean? And luckily these days I like me. or almost loved me, and I'm in a better place.
Beautiful.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that's right.
enjoying being here. I'm 27 fucking feet tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, and it is Atlanta's. It's wonderful. I mean, yes, you can go out probably tonight and just go jam with some people. There's so many great bands. It is a really, really talented. There's so many great talented bands. So many great bands, but also other types of artists. You know, painters and storytellers, and poets, and very interesting. But they also, my friend Eric Lee has this. He makes these T-shirts. I'll get you guys some, but it just says hashtag Atlanta Community Rocks, and it really does.
Nice.
When something happens, like the mark, or someone had an accident and they don't have medical bills, we'll do a show and raise money, try to help them. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Let's do it right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Exactly. That words to live by, because it's so unknown and nothing's a promise. Everything is a gift. Every day is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
That's still not know that lately, man. It's been it comes in these heavy waves, man.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, like I said, this is art, and we're rich right now. You guys have inspired me to, I'm gonna make a frozen pizza after this, and I'm gonna try to write a song.
That's great.
You better. And I want to hear that one. That's the one that I want to hear.
Yeah, we got it.
I took it out of the freezer, I put it in the oven.
It said 12 minutes, but I put it on 17 because I like it crispy.
Then I gotta do some. And you said you do martial arts. I just started. I gotta get back into it. But 2 months ago, started doing Tai Chi with me and this artist that I for years. Man, Cash Barnes. Shout out to Cash Barnes, and we've been working on these short films and stuff. And he's just a badass. He's a sculptor, makes beautiful.
Wow.
Metalwork, welding, ironwork, just gorgeous stuff. But I've known him for years, and we've been talking about, we've been working on these short films and brilliant writer and stuff. But he was like, man, let's do Tai Chi. And so literally I'll go to his studio, and first thing we do is we're in the grass, and I take my shoes and socks off, and I'm just out there doing it. It's been really good.
Yeah.
But the last couple of weeks, your boy T-Chest are falling off. I got to get back into it.
Yeah, because that I did. So Tai Chi was the first martial art I got into. Dixon Jiu-Jitsu, and I did Tai Chi and Wing Chun. But Tai Chi was I did it for 3 years straight, and it's meditation. I mean, it's
it's so many things.
It's crazy. It's got so many aspects. You connect with your body. But when I did it, I was 16, 17, 18. I was I definitely got a lot from it. However, I was too young to really absorb how powerful the meditation aspect was of it, because I wanted to learn all the physical, tactile things with it and how to use. And it started to open me up. But as a 42-year-old guy, dad of 2 kids, it's such a different experience now. I meditate it most days of the week for at least 10 minutes. Big meditation. I've been doing that for over a decade now. And the Tai Chi, and I kind of have been wanting to revisit it and relearn the old forms, because I learned 2 different forms, and because it's such a physical challenge. Both the 2 different forms of it was a posting technique where you'd stand in place. I can't demonstrate here, but you'd stand in place and you don't move at all, and you're going through all these mental meditations, breath work. But the other one was moving through these forms, and you're moving, this, and then this, what I'm doing, but full body shit. That would take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What I just did would be 10 minutes of movement, and you're on one foot for minutes at a time, and you're going through all this mental stuff. And it was amazing. I was, and there were physical attributes of it that would happen from it. But as a 42-year-old guy, dad of 2, all that kind of stuff, it's I feel like I would get a whole other chapter from it, revisiting it now.
I agree. I also think that I'll speak for myself, just because you're old enough to vote or go buy beers or go buy cigarettes or whatever, that doesn't mean you're a man. So, in my mid-20s, I was still such a buffoon and clueless. So I don't know why. Maybe because Jesus died when he was 33. It's such a weird thing to say, but I feel like I became a man and understood what's right and wrong and made the right adult decisions at 33 years old, or at least I figured it out, whatever. And so if you're in your 20s doing that, you're not properly. Like, I'm a big fan of mantras, and also as you get older, you should be every morning. We should be stretching to take care of our bodies and stuff, and then your brain. So it's this physical workout. It's mental. You're preparing yourself for that day and then week, and it's also, there's a spiritual aspect to it. You know what I mean?
It really is.
So it's really, I've got nothing but good. So if you see any cool videos, whatever, email them to me, because the goal is to get back into it. It's Thursday night. Saturday morning, I'll probably get back into it.
Do it,
That's
man.
right. That's right.
You know,
and text me and be like, "Yo, what's up? How was Tai Chi?" And if you didn't do it, I'm mad at you.
I'll get Dick to give me your number, so I do that.
Well, I'll set the group text up, and we can share some
We
Tai
can do that. Yeah.
So
Here's one thing I just want to say real quick is, dude, even if you can only do 5 minutes, just do that.
Yeah,
that's a game changer versus not doing it at all.
Yeah, because when I started,
I
was doing like 29 minutes, and then I tried to do 45, and I was like, I can't. I don't have much time. Yeah. But so we realized how much time we spend doing nothing. I know, and you guys are dads. I don't have any children. Yeah. But you can find 15 minutes for damn sure. And if you can't, then you're being selfish and you got a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You should take a look at your life if you can't make 15 minutes to put yourself in a state of mind that benefits everybody around you.
Well, yeah, and when you get off of work, or if you're in the studio editing all day, or whatever it is you've been dealing with, you certainly go home and lay down for 15 minutes to decompress. So why not spend 15 minutes of that and then do your decompressing? You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I agree. Dick, I cut you off like 3 times when you were trying to say something. I'm sorry, man. I just wanted to say, do it even if it's 5 minutes. Man.
I didn't know how passionate you were about Tai Chi. Like Tai Chi is that beautiful stretching of the body and then equalization with the mind. That's in a nutshell for me.
I think you're right though, because it's like we don't realize how much it's this beautiful meditative state unless you give into it and do it.
Yeah. Because when I approached it as a young guy, I grew up loving martial arts. Every kung fu movie. I was the guy before streaming was a thing that I rented all the kung fu movies, ripped all the fight scenes out and put them on a master tape. I had 3 chronicles of it. Everyone around town knew Ash has the Kung Fu Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. I loved martial arts, and so I just wanted to know how to fight.
Yeah, I love it. I still love the movie. Well, the reality also is. We probably, and this comes with that age. So whether you're 27 or 28 or you turn, like I said, 33, I don't know why. My brother made fun of me about that. He's like, "What do you mean 33?" But we realize, and we're smart enough that we also got to take better care of ourselves. Like, 2 weeks, I've had a bunch of friends go, "Yo, you sleep and you eat," and you may be sad, but if you don't take care of you, then we're gonna get a call that you're gone. And that's not good.
Yeah. That's, and when I lost my father, like it was in 2016 and I was 32. And the thing that touched me the most was when the superintendent that I work with, like my mentor at work, sent food to my house.
Oh man.
He sent all the food, like all the food. And he said, you don't have to worry about cooking food for the next week. I got you. And it was like that was the most thoughtful thing I could think of. And it's something I wouldn't have ever thought of. And I probably wouldn't have eaten for days.
Oh, I know. Because when you are sad, or when you're anxious and you have these anxieties that lead to very much can lead to depression, and you not liking yourself. The last thing we're thinking about is us. And I mean, I'm trying to take care of my dad because my mom passed away a couple years ago. So I'm like, I'm backing down. There's like so many other worries, and then we forget about us. And it's like, oh shit, I haven't eaten. It's Saturday. I haven't eaten since Wednesday. What the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah. Because I mean, like that. I also feel like if the more you can take care of yourself, not only are you better for everybody, but it's like you're more attuned to be able to understand what's happening around you. You're going to handle the situation better. In every way, it just kind of goes downhill the more you don't pay attention to what's happening to you.
You lose. If you lose, everyone loses. If you win, you might be able to take care of a lot of people, and they win.
Yeah, that's right. Perfect.
And the thing is like, that superintendent, like, I work in TV and work in the news. And so, my wife's like, she's like, you need to stop watching the news because it's messing with I don't need to be here. Go turn it off and go right away,
Preaching the choir there, buddy.
And then you hear even friends that you love, let's say, there's a shooting and, some people, are personal violence and everything answer. So that's all heinous and disgusting. So I'm not even not going to get into it with anybody, But the thing is, when that superintendent did that for you and your family, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you realize you go, there's more good people out there than bad people. And I'm going to try to fucking hang out with just good people. I'm going to try to be a good person. I mean, just today, this guy called my name like literally 2 hours ago. And he's like, yo, Tom. And I was thinking, terrible. I'm like, what's up? And I would go, what's up, B? Yeah, like, what's up, brother? Yeah. And I see you walking around because I have a place in town. It's like, it's not too far from where the march was. So it's like, there's a 24-hour store across the street. You go buy, a pack of fags and a 6-pack of beer, and you go get food to go, whatever. Like, if you walk around, he's like, I've seen you walking around here for weeks, and I don't have your number, but I wanted to just come by, but I also want to give you time. And I go, where did you see me just now? He goes, oh, I've been following you for 2 blocks. I saw you on my porch or whatever. I was like, well, you should have called me back then, dude. I got to walk back, whatever. But I just want to give you a hug and say, if you need anything, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I said,
amazing.
Yeah, man.
And I said, yo, what's your name? No, I'm kidding. I did not say it. I said, thank you so much, man. I know your house. Next time I come by, I'll throw a rock at the door and say,
I'm bad with names, but I'm good with faces.
Here, let me save your number. How do you spell your name?
I always do that. I go, that's really funny. And I'll be like text me and say, who you are or whatever. Or worse than that, you guys are musicians. You mean, either you're traveling or you're touring or you're, or you're, I don't know, or a band comes through town and you meet them or whatever. And you sort of maybe the Stellas, maybe the Pints, maybe they're going too far. Then whatever it is, maybe it's 8 mushrooms, who knows, whatever. But you meet someone and you think you say their name right, So literally, I got a text on my birthday. This guy goes, hey man, I missed your last 2 birthdays, but I remember this one. Hope you're well, and happy birthday. And look at it, it says Billy the Jeweler, Boston. Who the hell is Billy the Jeweler?
Billy the Jeweler, man.
One of these things, insane. You know what I mean? It's hysterical, man.
Yeah, you don't realize the dents, the little ripples that you're causing that'll play out. I mean, just a single gesture like what you experienced, Dick. I mean, that probably changed your whole perception of options. You have a whole option list of ways that you could help people now just because of that one kind gesture your way.
Yeah. And I said, to be honest, I really was a little anxious and nervous and you guys have been so lovely. So thank you, and been very hospitable. And it's been really enjoyable talking to you. But I was building myself, whatever. And then I was like, man, I got this. And when I hang up, I'm going to make a frozen pizza.
I love it. Well, we're just about there, buddy. I mean, that pizza is in sight for you. We just, we're right at about an hour. But man, what I would say, dude, is seriously, whenever you're about to drop something, let us know. You're welcome to come on here anytime. Definitely want to put, I could tell you this after the podcast, but do send me links of anything that you want me to list so people can buy tangible.
So also, I do want to say this, and we're making an announcement. We're making an announcement, I guess, for today's the 11th. So Tuesday will be the 16th. And give people 4 months advance. I'm inviting you both to come, and maybe I'll come on the show and we'll talk about it then. But Behind's birthday is January 16th. So give people 4 months, October, November, January. And we're going to have a big party and a celebration of his life and a bands play at a place called iDrum. Shout out to the guys at iDrum. It's in the West End, and I want it to be all ages. I want people bringing their families, bring your kids. And we're doing it. We got Punk Rock Saves Lives out of Denver who want to be involved. So we're going to be doing things in his name to pay it forward. Like, so Punk Rock Saves helps. They do a lot of help with people for the, musicians with mental health issues and help with musicians who don't have, insurance. And then we have another organization that we want to work with that buys, kids' guitar strings and paintbrushes. And
beautiful.
16th, we're going to do a proper celebration on his birthday. You're the first people I'm telling.
We're there. Well, we're there.
Oh, yeah.
We're the first
VIP. Me and Kyron will be in Atlanta, brother.
Yeah.
And basically, we're gonna figure out a way. We got a bunch of friends who want to play with us, and we're gonna do some West End Motel songs. So it's gonna be awesome. And that's the thing, man. You gotta just every day, man. You see bad things. Well, I want nothing to do with it. You got to choose the awesome stuff.
Yeah,
that's right.
Beautiful, dude. We're there. I know. I'm there. You're there.
And if you need a young man to play heading to Birmingham.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys posted my son on your story. He played it on the acoustic, and you guys posted him on the West End story.
So that's the first song I'm pretty sure that's the first West End Motel song I wrote and brought to Brent. The second one was Under My Skin. And he was just like, "It's just a song Birmingham about me." I was like, "No, it's about a girl I dated from Birmingham." But no, we are so lucky, the people that we meet through, like you said, this magic through music, and so celebrate the good shit. You know what I mean? It's
take every bit of good that comes from the bad, because there's gems in there.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is like things can be, this is where I'm at. I'm like, when everyone does like New Year's resolutions and stuff, I always go, listen, I know for a fact something's going to happen to me this year or someone I love that's going to make me very, very sad. And that's going to be horrible, and I'll deal with it. But I'm also going to try to laugh a lot and sing songs and hug people that I care about. That's it. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Exactly. I love it.
I might have to.
I think we
have a similar resolution.
I'm gonna start giving myself those mantras. I love Tom Cheshire's mantras.
Oh man. Listen, I feel so cheesy sometimes with it, but I think cliches are cliches for a reason too.
Dude, they're totally, absolutely. I think that they need more credibility from people that can put it into context as to how it played out for them. And you're like, oh, that shit's real.
I love doing it like the wrong way to people, the wrong context, And I'll walk up and I'll be like, you should see the other guy.
right.
Like, when in Rome, remember it wasn't built I mean, just fuck him, come on. Listen. Yeah. And I know that when you walk up, like, what is he all right in the head? What's wrong with him? Everything's just right where it's supposed to be, right?
That's right, man.
Leave them bewildered, amused, and smiling.
Yeah, totally.
Totally. Dude.
That's a very cool way, Dick, to end it if you want. I don't know.
I agree.
Really,
right.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful, man.
For being
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Tom. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
With a slice of heaven, everybody get your Muse on him. I'll send you guys a clip, and I'll do a jab for you guys.
Okay, dude.
A
All
little
right.
jingle.
I love it.
Get your dues. No, man, this was a flight to heaven. Thank you so much, man.
Oh,
And
great, man.
Thank you, Tom.
it's
Thank
very,
you.
very lovely to meet you guys, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thanks, dude. You too, man. And total pleasure getting to talk with you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
See you, everybody.
man. Bye, guys.
There are whispers among the Muses of what you're both doing.
You mean you guys get up and communicate?
Norman. Those are yours. They were hot on our trail. Things got too dangerous.
What is that mess? Something interrupted my music listening time. Was it your big antenna?
Are you two causing noise pollution in this neighborhood?
Dobbs Dorian is who we need to perform with. Our collaboration with them is the only way to defeat her and fight back. To save creativity for humanity.
Art must continue for the survival of us all, bro.